welcome to the main quest, where we're going to be talking about the Nintendo Direct that came out this week.
Yeah.
It was really exciting. It was
It was sneaky.
we talked about it last week, and it was like, maybe they're gonna do it, and like even up until the evening before, it was like, are they gonna do it? And then they just like dropped the whole thing. The funniest thing about it, though, for me, is there were spoilers for an announcement.
Yeah.
Because if you've watched Nintendo Directs for a while, you know that they tend to backload a lot of fun stuff on the end. It's the whole one more thing that we really love, and that works in a live show.
It does.
But when you post the whole thing at once, people who are aware are going to jump to 9.5 minutes in to this 11-minute thing, and then they're going to be like, "Oh my goodness, this is the big news!"
And that's all I cared about.
Yeah, that's what gets thrown up on Twitter. And so so we will get to the massive news at the end of this, which I'll go ahead and spoil it for you as if you're watching the last minute and a half. Dark Souls Remaster is coming to Switch, and that is where I'm going to be playing it, because I want to be able to be frustrated no matter where you are. And Tanner gave the perfect tagline, is prepare to die anywhere. Like, Nintendo needs to grab that and be like, yes, you can die anywhere you want.
I can't wait for that. I cannot wait. I love the Souls games, and to be able to jump in and do it anywhere is going to be great. It's going to be fantastic, and we'll talk about it in a second.
It's also a big deal because Demon Souls ran really well, but it has it's fuzzy. I love it, but it's fuzzy.
Dark Souls is fuzzy too.
Dark Souls is less fuzzy, and so because of some of the things that they were attempting to do, there are areas of the game that have always been problematic on console. Like, you were trying to play Dark Souls backwards compatible on Xbox One, and there were still areas where it just didn't work as well. And so the remaster is an excellent way for those of us who missed it or didn't get to go all the way through, or people who were frustrated at that part, to be able to...
We'll talk more about that in a bit, though. Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I completely agree. Let's start at the beginning of the Direct. We got The World Ends With You. You get a final remix. This is the DS game, not 3DS. DS action RPG. I didn't play it. I know some people really enjoyed it, but to me... To put that in context, that's like getting an Xbox or OG Xbox game remastered onto the original, or like the tail end of the OG Xbox, I'd say.
I like it because it looks like a rhythm-based version of Jet Set Radio. Like, it's got that, we're cool kids and we're gonna do all the things. So it looks fun. I like the idea of the story and everything. And so this is something that I'm at the very least interested in, and that's going to be coming out this year. So we got a lot of release dates and things. We
got some Pokken Tournament, 2 DLC packs.
Do you want to try to pronounce those characters, or do we just want to say that there are more Pokemon coming to Pokken Tournament?
There are more Pokemon coming to Pokken.
I don't want to pronounce those.
I didn't see the link in here to grab it, but I agree. I don't remember. That goes into the realm of Pokemon that I didn't, where they're not OG Pokemon. They're not one of the originals, or they're ones that I never caught. So, anyways, I know Pokken Tournament's a thing for some people. Hasn't hooked me. I want to try it out, but it hasn't hooked me yet. Kirby Star Allies. To me, I like Kirby, so I'm good with this. But so good.
They showed off a couple of new abilities that are going to be in it, because we all know Meta Knight and the bombs and everything, but they're showing off 2 new abilities that are going to be in this game, and they also announced the release date, which is March 16th. And they have the artist ability where he draws, and then those go out and take on stuff, and then the spider ability, which is like webs and wrapping stuff up, and then you can bounce them towards your enemies. And it looked weird and fun, and Kirby games are consistently bizarre and interesting. So if that's something you're into.
Yeah, and I think that Kirby appeals to a wide variety of people in that case. And Kirby, to me, is great for younger audiences, and I think it continues to do that. The first Kirby was really made for that, and I think it continues to shine in that stance. We got Dragon Quest Builders. Demo's out right now for Dragon Quest Builders, so pick that up, go try it out. I really like the Dragon Quest games that I've played, of the couple that I've played.
I played Dragon Quest Builders on the Vita, and it was a lot of fun. It was interesting, and you got to build stuff and make stuff, and the quests and stories were actually interesting. The characters, it was mostly fetch quests, but the world was fun to explore, and so this is one that I can recommend.
It's very Minecrafty. If you like Minecraft, it's very Minecrafty to an extent, with like a good story.
And there's
interesting story.
The main difference for me between this and Minecraft is the interaction with the characters. Like the characters were fun, and like there was like even in the first village there were two different people who had different ideas about the way the world should be, and so it was interesting to do both of their quests and make the things for them, and then be like, this world could be a lot cooler if Julie over there would quit being so uptight about everything. And that was fun and entertaining, and it's something that for younger players is also something, and that's something that I thought was cool. And then Hyrule Warriors coming to Switch this spring with all DLC included and Breath of the Wild outfits for Link and Zelda.
So that's where I'll be buying it, because I didn't buy it on Wii U. That was one where I was thinking at one point I want to play this. I don't know when. At some point I want to check it out. And Whitney saw it and thought this looks great, because she loves God of War, she loves hack and slash stuff, and when you can just destroy like just mobs and mobs, I'm hoping that this game gets her into Zelda, because I've been trying to get her to play a Zelda game, and she plays for a little bit and she's like, okay, I get it, and then it's over. And she's missing out, in my opinion, especially Breath of the Wild. Ocarina of Time may be dated now, but I'm thinking maybe that'll get her into the universe and get her to be hooked. For her, she has to be hooked on a franchise, and then she'll jump in and blast through it. She doesn't pick up games every now and then and try them out, like, unless I kind of force her hand a little bit. She's like, no, I want to play Assassin's Creed, or I want to play this. I'm like, okay, but try this out. So the fact that it's coming with all the DLC is great. This is showing. I'm pretty sure that we predict. It wasn't in our predictions for 2018. I don't think. I think it was earlier than that. We predicted that Switch is just going to keep getting these ports of Wii U games.
I'm not even going to take the points for that, because that's a based on what they released last year. It's like, obviously this is going to happen, but then again, with Nintendo, you don't always know if they're going to do the right thing, and it seems like they're continuing the trend with what they did last year of bringing kind of the cream of the crop, the best stuff out. So all we need is Mario Maker, and I'm set. I
need Mario Maker on my Switch. This needs to happen
so bad
by the end of the year. My prediction.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to write that one down. So Mario Tennis Aces is coming out with a story mode this spring.
Well, no, it's a new game. There was Mario Tennis, and then this is Mario Tennis Aces. And there have been several different Mario Tennis games. Mm-hmm. The ones with story are consistently the better ones. Mario Tennis came out, and it was like, okay, it's a tennis game. Yeah, but there wasn't really a whole lot to it, and so I think that Aces. Again, I have a little bit higher hopes for this one than I did for the previous iteration.
So for me, not counting Mario Kart, my favorite Mario something game where you take him and you put him in a sport, my favorite is N64 Golf.
Yeah, golf is a great place for Mario to be.
It's a great place for him to be. It lends itself really well for the characters. It's really fun to play, as a group. I would love to see that on Switch, because I love Mario Golf. I've bought it on the eShop. So eventually, by the end of the year, when they come out with their eShop of retro games, the NES, and it's going to go all the way up to GameCube from what we're rumored on that. But I'm going to get Mario Golf again. on this. I'm going to buy Ocarina. Again, you know why? Because I want to play Ocarina on my Switch. I want to play it anywhere and everywhere. It's going to be great. Also coming to Switch is the Ys 8.
Ys 8. Yeah.
Whatever. I never got into the series. I know some people hardcore got into it. But yeah, Ys 8 is coming out this summer, and you put on here Survivors Surviving Survival. Is that what it's called?
No. When they were doing the direct, it was one of those situations where it was like very clear that someone wrote this script in Japanese, and then they were just like, let's just translate that and just put those same words in. I don't know, maybe survival is a more complicated, more nuanced concept in Japanese, but like I think I counted 5 times in like this minute and a half where they were talking about Ys 8 where they used some form of the word survive.
That's their buzzword, I guess. I don't know.
Apparently. But yeah, this was a game that came out on the 3DS and the Vita, actually. And I think PS4 as well. But yeah, this is the long-running RPG series. It's been around for a really long time. It's really in depth, and it goes pretty hard into the story and the mechanics. The mechanics are really deep, and so if you're the type of person who really enjoys building out characters and like making everything just right, and it's kind of the micromanagement of RPGs. So if that's something you're into, that's coming to Switch, and I'm glad that more RPGs are coming to the Switch, more long games, because I like the idea of being able to sit down and knock out 20 minutes over a long period of time and beat it over a year or something. And so that seems like something that could be a lot of fun for people. And then we also have on Mario Odyssey, they're introducing a balloon world mode. So we still don't have like playable Luigi. You can go up and talk to him now.
Yep.
Or you're going to be able to once this update comes out. And then there's like the Luigi outfit. It's like, that's not really Luigi. No. But I really like this because what they said was this was like objective-based speed running. And so like you have a timer and you run off and you put a balloon somewhere, and then Luigi's like, hey, can you find this balloon that the other person hid somewhere? And you have a limited amount of time to go and find it.
And that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, and the other cool thing is this is just an update. And it's like, hey, you like Mario Odyssey? Have some more Mario Odyssey. And that's a really cool thing that Nintendo is doing, because they have been kind of slow to come up on the DLC and figuring out how to evolve their games as they go. But I think that this is a really good example of them choosing to do it in a way that is helpful and fun for the people who played it, who, if you're one of those crazy people who went out and got 999 stars, it's like, well, now what?
People buying the Korok seeds and everything.
This is now, and I think that's a really cool thing.
I would like to play Luigi, and I would like to do this as a prediction, but I don't think it's going to happen. This is like my dream prediction. Would be that by the time Mario Odyssey's done with putting in all their DLC and everything, that you can play as Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad. Like Mario 2 style, go through the whole game as Princess Peach, go through the whole game as Toad, and they all have their little tiny quirks. The only problem is the game balancing would really suck, but if they were thinking about that the whole time, if that's been in Nintendo's back pocket the whole time, that they were able to do that, it would be amazing. I don't think so. It's not going to happen. If we get Luigi, he may have slightly different movement, but we're not.
Yeah.
But he's going to have to. He's going to be a little quicker.
But a lot of the game is about when you're possessing somebody. So if like Luigi was hanging out and you could if he's in each world,
yes,
and you could throw your hat and take over Luigi, that might be a thing. And I can see that as like and that could be like an extra challenge for people. It's like, hey, can you get this star? With Luigi. So that I could see that as a thing. But then you've got into the whole autonomy thing, and like when you don't think about that whole cat possession thing too deeply, because it gets really disturbing really fast. Things that are not disturbing though is SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy, which is the SNK fighters all the female fighters.
Yep.
That's coming to Switch this summer.
Yeah.
SNK is actually not a fighting series that I follow. I think this is the King of Fighters is the same universe as the SNK, right?
I honestly don't know. This is a series that I'm going to double check that while we're talking though.
Okay. But yeah, so it's basically it's a 3D fighting game with tag team.
It is King of Fighters. Yeah.
Yes, I win.
And it's not a series that to me it was all it was Street Fighter or it was Mortal Kombat. And yes. I didn't get on the Tekken train for a long time. But
I'm on the Tekken train.
Yeah, I know you are. But to me, it was old school. It was old school Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter for the longest time. And then Marvel vs. Capcom. Mm-hmm. In there. And the recent games that have come out in regards to like Injustice, I think has been great, and I think Marvel's been lacking in that category. Yeah, I mean it's cool. I haven't seen. Actually, I need to see if I can find it real quick. I didn't see the trailer for this. Is there a trailer?
Yes, there is a trailer that was just kind of embedded in the direct. But yeah, so that's another series, and it's more support that's coming to Switch from various places, and it's like for me, it's less about this particular game and more about the idea that everything's coming to the Switch, because yes. Like where I used to say, hey, is that coming to Vita? Now it's like, and Switch, and
Switch.
That's the cool thing now.
And this year it's getting so much. I was just checking out the trailer. I checked the trailer real quick. If you're watching this on YouTube, then I'll put the trailer up and everything. You probably have already seen it at this point. I appreciate that the characters in the trailer is not let's call it dead or alive-tastic. It's not all about jiggle physics. Yeah, like it's legit. Like, they just happen to be female fighters. So I'm like, I respect that. I think that's cool. Yeah. Also, Payday 2 is coming out February 27th. Again, showing that the Switch is getting all these third-party games. Like I predicted, third-party is flooding to Switch, games you did not expect to be on this console this console, and I'm very happy about that. Payday 2 is a great game for the mature audience.
Yeah,
and I'm happy about this.
It's one of those games that just keeps on showing up in different places. I'm like, oh yeah, Payday 2 has a huge audience. Yep, and that's cool. So if that's something that you're interested in, then enjoy.
Yeah.
And then we got a couple of release dates. These are games that had been announced previously as a general. This is coming out to places. So they're simultaneously announcing that these games are coming to Switch, and they're also showing us the release dates.
Yes. And I'm happy about that. So we got Faye as the first one, which I really like the art style on this.
It looks really pretty.
Mm-hmm. The art style and the platforming aspect of this looks fun. It looks forgiving enough that a lot of people are going to enjoy it, in my opinion. And then we also got Celeste, the which I think you're more excited about than I am. But I think that like Celeste has potential as an old school platformer, very very retro, 16-bit looking, almost 8-bit looking. It's 16-bit like it's the same, so washed out.
It's the same art style as his previous game, which was Towerfall, and that was multiplayer centric, and it was that game is so much fun. I really enjoyed it. But the story mode was just, hey, beat a bunch of multiplayer matches and then you win. And so Celeste is that guy's approach to single player, and it looks very similar, and I'm really looking forward to it. I will definitely be picking this up, and it's been a while since I've seen something that I think is right up there with like Super Meat Boy is the comparison that you're going to hear a lot, and I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah, I would agree.
And then one of the cool things about it is like you have a single air dash. You can use an air dash one time, and then you need to land, and it kind of resets. And so you have to kind of plan your trajectory. And that was one of the things that I also really enjoyed about Guacamelee, was like, figuring out how to approach this platforming. And so it's, for me, this is the kind of puzzle I like. This is the kind of puzzle game that I like. Is like, okay, what do I need to do it? Mm-hmm. Okay, now that I've figured that out, let's take this on. And that's a lot of fun for me to watch and play.
Oh yeah. And we also got Mario Rabbids is getting more Donkey Kong story.
Well, it's getting Donkey Kong is getting put in, and he's going to have his own like mini story in it. And yeah, go DK.
That may get me to buy the game then. I haven't purchased it yet. It's on my list of at one point, because I'm so backlogged right now that it's not on my radar, because there are so many games that I'm looking forward to playing. This one couldn't rank in there. Unfortunately, Monster Hunter and Far Cry are the two biggest ones on the horizon for me. But we also, which this one is an instant buy for me.
Speaking of Donkey Kong.
Instant buy for me, Tropical Freeze, coming onto Switch May 4th.
Yep.
Instant buy for me. I love the Donkey Kong games. They're also fun games that I can play. I can play on couch co-op.
Yeah. And this is actually a really cool thing, and this is one of the reasons that I plan to buy Tropical Freeze specifically, because we look to support when developers take on things that they hadn't done before. Tropical Freeze, Donkey Kong Country Returns was pretty difficult. Like mm-hmm. I died multiple times on the very first boss of Donkey Kong Country Returns. Yeah. Tropical Freeze stepped it up to a new level. Like there were bosses that were like controller throwingly like soulsy and maddening.
Yeah.
And so because they had couch co-op, this is something I would like to play with my girls, but this is unbelievably difficult.
Yeah.
And Funky Kong is like, he has like 2 extra hearts, and whenever he lands on spikes, he just pulls out a surfboard. I'm just gonna stand on my surfboard. So it's like a baby mode for Tropical Freeze, yeah. which is cool. And especially with the co-op, I can be playing a harder game with my kids at the same time. And that's something like I hadn't even thought of that as a thing that could be put into a game. And so my hat is off to Nintendo for coming up with this idea of being able to take this on. So that's coming out May 4th, and I'm absolutely buying it, and I plan on playing it with my girls.
Yeah. So a game you won't be playing with the girls though, and this is the big news for us. May 25th, Dark Souls Remastered is coming out on Switch. This has been rumored for a while. Now we talked about it a little bit at the beginning,
and it was one of my predictions. This is the first confirmed TWIOCH prediction of 2018.
Correct.
Bam.
Correct. And I agreed with you, so I get a half point. Dark Souls Remaster is something that's been rumored for quite a while to be Dark Souls to come onto the Switch. And a lot of people were curious, okay, well, are they going to do Dark Souls 3? Which are they going to do Dark Souls 1?
Right, because when they were showing here's everybody that's developing for the Switch, From Software was on there.
Yeah.
And they hadn't released anything yet. So, coming up on a year of the Nintendo Switch being out, From Software is finally releasing something. And I'm really excited about that because
I can't wait for a better frame rate for Dark Souls with a better frame rate for I know that on PC it's great. I played it on PC. But to be able to play this anywhere I want, to be able to play this, Skyrim is a great example of that. If I am out and about, I can jump in and play a little bit of Skyrim, depending on how much time I have. And it's one of those games where it's not a pick up and play for a little bit, but if someone's using. So we have one TV in our house. We have many monitors, but we have a TV in the living room. So if Whitney's watching something on there or playing a game, I like to be able to play something. And I can jump in and play Skyrim or Dark Souls and not take up the TV. Or I can come in and play it in the office. I can go play it if I'm waiting at the DMV. Whatever you do. You're dropping off your car to get worked on, and you're like, I got an hour I got to kill. And I don't want to, I think it's great. I think it's perfect to be there. It will get aggravating. So don't try to bend your Switch. Like, I know people get really mad and they like start to crunch their controllers. Your Switch will bend. Don't do that.
Yeah.
So bring on a Pro Controller, bring on the dock, put the thing out and play.
Yeah. And so if you're sitting there at the DMV and you're like, man, what if I were more frustrated?
Now
you have an option with Dark Souls, and that's also coming out to PS4 and Xbox and PC. I'm not 100% sure why it's coming to PC. Like you can just buy Dark Souls, and then it's better, it's prettier, like already.
Patches.
So
they did the same thing with Skyrim when Skyrim Remastered came out. They gave everyone who had Skyrim on PC, they gave them the remaster.
Yeah.
So I think that it helps for textures, for frame rate, all that. I think it can help. I would love for them to give this out like Bethesda did. Probably won't. But I think that was a good gesture to be like, hey, you guys have been with us since the whenever, and now you can keep it up. So
yeah, and I don't remember if we mentioned this, but this also does include the Artorias of the Abyss DLC. So that's cool too.
Because the only way you could get that is if you were playing on get the PC Ultimate Edition.
Prepare to Die.
Prepare to Die, yeah, because you couldn't get it. Like I have playing it on Xbox One, backwards compatible for 360.
Yeah.
I don't have the DLC, so that's it's unless I'm wrong, I don't think I have the DLC. So getting all of this all together.
I think Prepare to Die versions came to console. Anyway. It's coming to Switch. Buy it on the Switch. Play it on the Switch. That's where you should be playing Dark Souls come March or May 25th.
Yeah, so let us know in the comments what you think about the Nintendo Direct. Are you going to be getting Dark Souls? And what are you most excited about for Nintendo this year? We'll see you guys later.
Thanks for watching This Week in Our Collective Heads. Subscribe over here and click the bell. And that way you'll know about any new videos that we put up, because we put up a lot of gameplay, a lot of stories from games and stuff like that, and gameplay is down here.
Yeah, and you got more editorials and news stuff down here. Check it out.